Now, there are a few odd things God says to Moses, though, right? Like, no man can see me and live, though. What does that mean, right? It also talks of a different image of Adam after the fall. And there are only two Adams, right? Born, right? Or created, right? One was created as an adult, right? One, the other is the Lord from heaven, right? He's called the second man, or Adam, right? Second means two of one, right? Right? If you're the second man, right? Adam. And the first Adam, the woman was inside of him, right? See, the flesh can be male and female, right? You take the female parts from the male and put her in her own body, right? And then make her body similar to his, but as the female a little weaker, but in certain areas, right? More the effeminate side, right? Of the neither male nor female image of God. And then he becomes the masculine side, right? And you have two from yin and yang, even, right? So yin and yang itself could be divided into two separate parts, right? Equally, right? If you're going into Chinese mythology as well. If you understand what I mean, right? Now, when it is yin or yang, right? The two have been made from the one, right? Yin yang is considered one, I know. But it can also be separated yin or yang, right? Into two sides of the same necklace, for example, right? A male could have yang and the female yin, whichever one is, appropriate, right? Say which one is the male, though? Which one is yang and which one is yin, right? Is the black yin or the white yang, right? And again, this is the color scheme represented too, right? But the light is in the darkness, even in black people. Their teeth, are white because they're bone, like you're bone, right? So they're also bone of your bone and flesh of your flesh, right? And their eyes are light colored too, right? Right? They're whitish, right? They're not black either, right? Though the irises, right, can be dark, but some have green, right? I've even seen blue eyes in a male or female. But that means two recessive genes, right, from the parents, right, are necessary, and one of the parents has to have both genes, right, as a recessive gene, right? But Africans can have, if they mix with Europeans, right, who have blue eyes, right, if they mate, right, their offspring can have the recessive blue eyes and the dominant black eyes of the African, right? Well, not the first generation, right, necessarily, right? Because, see, anytime it pairs with black eyes, it's going to be black eyes, right? But they can also get lighter, right? What does light blue eyes mix with black eyes do? Make brown, right? a little lighter, right? And what happens when brown and blue mix themselves? Green? Green. We're talking light blue, not dark blue. Hello? Do you see what I mean, though, right? Right. See, sometimes we're carnal, all right, looking on the external and not understanding the internal, which even science can help with that a little, medical science a little, right, to understand it more. But at the same time, you're worse than the Christians when it comes to what we can or can't do as well. You want to act like everything we're doing is in two categories of something healthy or unhealthy, and that's the same knowledge that got us kicked out of Eden, right? Is this something I'm supposed to do or not, right? And if not, is this what's killing me or not, right? Well, according to the Bible, what's killing us is the very words coming out of our mouths, right? Now, do you notice, though, if a doctor says the patient will get better, right, or worse, right, they usually, if they hear it from the doctor's mouth, believe it, right? And it's like you have the lump, right? Are you sure it's cancer, right? Until the doctor says it's cancer, or do you understand, right? So, okay, right. And that's part of the not understanding how faith works, right? If you're paranoid, you're going to get cancer. And you're looking for a lump, right? And suddenly there's a lump there. Did you subconsciously cause yourself, right, through your paranoia, to develop breast cancer, right? And the doctor has to biopsy it, right, to find out whether it's malignant or not, right? Let's see. Now, if it's malignant, right, you got to remove it or something, right? If it's not and benign, you're okay. It's just a lump, right? Now, the only one, though, who can check it out is your doctor, though, too, right? Now, here's the problem, though. How do you feel about what you're told about the cancer, right? Do you fear, right? And is Satan using your fear? Because fear, too, is the mind killer if you seem doom, right? Right? Well, that's what John is telling you. Perfect love casts out fear, right? But fear comes from somewhere, so who is it from? The devil, right? Okay, the devil causes you fear, right? To manifest the cancer, right? You must first find the lump, right? Do you understand, right? But paranoia, okay, is setting in what part of your brain, right? Your body, the brain first. Oh, I need to check if I have a lump, right? You find the lump, right? And then you check the lump and you worry if it's benign or malignant, right? And you go to the doctor and he does the test, right? It becomes malignant, right? Or benign, right? I mean, you know what I mean, right? Now, faith, though, is that it's not cancer, right? You won't ever get cancer, right? Even if you're around people who smoke, right? And do you understand, right? But if you're blaming smoke, right? It's not the smoke causing your cancer, right? It's you, right? That's why Jesus asked them, even the lepers, what would you have me do to you? That we may be healed of our leprosy, Lord, right? Read what it says, right? They did. Now, even Mary, though, even the women, right, did say Jesus could resurrect them, right? And again, right, Jesus' own faith that the Father could resurrect Lazarus is what resurrected him. Yeah. He declared the resurrection, and the Father heard him and resurrected Lazarus, right? Yes. But see, you're trying to downplay something that unless you saw it or we talked about it, ain't your business really either, right? If I fell 3 stories, most people wouldn't be surprised if I broke a few bones, right? Why are you getting all up in my business, right? About that, right? And see, when you do something wrong in the Navy, that's when they deal with it. Even go to a little AWOL. Mm-hmm. They don't bring it up again, right? Unless it's something that wasn't dealt with, right? So if you bring a new case forward, right, of something that happened that you didn't know how to tell people, right, that's different, right? Mm-hmm. Right. Like I said, right, if someone's getting in the Navy, they have the perfect cover because, you know, the Navy might shy away from someone having to deal with that situation for real and not help the person out, especially if they get diagnosed with mental illness, right? Which is a way to make it look like there's something wrong with the other person, right? In and of itself, right? But the paranoia is to also say I'm a homophobe, right? Mm-hmm. That's not the issue either if I just don't want sex with a man, right? Right. And I don't care if gay people have sex or not, right? Problem is I don't want to do it, so I don't want to be raped into it either, right? And then called gay because someone tried to rape me, right? Even if they didn't succeed or did, right? Again, I would fight them to a point too, right? Whole point here, right? Mm-hmm. But they still could get away with it with just diagnosing me with a mental illness, right? And that's easier to do, but it's hard to prove if you're hearing voices, religious or not, right? If it's not a mental illness as well. Mm-hmm. And all you can do is deal with the mental illness, right? But prejudiced people make mental illness out as a demon, right? Right. Not necessarily true as well. That's superstitious ideas of it. But again, you got to look in the Bible at what they consider demon possession, right? And why was the dude who went about his country, right, and considered crazy, right? Mm-hmm. Or mentally ill, right? As we would say today, right? How he behaved, right? Now, when Jesus asked the demon its name, right, it said legion, right? For we are many, right? Mm-hmm. What do you think scared the man half to death to behave that way? Was his village attacked by the Romans, right? Who ransacked it, and he alone was left alive, right? You understand what I mean? Right? That's called post-traumatic stress disorder, right? Okay, right. Mm-hmm. That's probably what he was suffering from, right? So I'm guessing. I'm not a doctor, right? Not claiming to be, right? Now, if people are trying to rape you, though, and putting you on the 12 floors, right, you're very also sleep deprived by the time you're hearing voices, right? And if you fast for a few days, right, that might kind of mess up some stuff mentally, right? A little bit. Mm-hmm. And you having problems with your new girlfriend, right? And not sure what's going on with her either, right? So all that could trigger the voices as well. Mm-hmm. Whether it's God or a demon or whatever, right? Something is communicating to me something about the city of Jerusalem, right? And there's 2, right? Mm-hmm. One is above and free and the mother of us all. The other one is bound and the slave of men, right? Who are trying to make her the religious center of the world, right? If you know what I mean. 3 faiths Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all three claim Jerusalem as their capital, in a way. And that's going to become a pile of crap, right, if you know what I mean, right? A big problem in the future one day when Israel wants to rebuild their temple, right? And that's what it's all about. Put your left hand in, put your left hand out, put your left hand in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about, yeah. Okay, that's not my voice either, but like I said, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you're singing with the monks, he ate you all day. You gotta sound like a monk, right? You can't do it this way. He ate you all, man. Who you talking about, bud? What you sound like? Okay. You see what I mean? Right. You gotta do it how the monks do it when you're singing with the monks, right? You understand? I don't know. Now, if you're doing pop, right, and you're singing, that's fine. That's fine. If you're doing soul, and you sound like Aretha, okay, or one of the African girls, right, that's fine too. If you're doing Catman Tennille, stop, 'cause I really love you. Stop, I'm just thinking of you. Looking out and let love keep us together, whatever. Well, see, that's the difference, right? Mm-hmm. It's the right melody, but a male, right, man? I'm singing to that, right? Now, Tennille is the female. Captain is playing the instrument, which is a piano or something, right? Kind of like, you know, Will and Sherry. Sherry! Sherry, baby! Sherry! So if you want to sing like the Four Tops, right, you gotta sound like the Four Tops, right? Little. If you want to sing like who? Right, Earth, Wind, and Fire, you gotta sound like Earth, Wind, and Fire, right? Otherwise, you just a white dude, right? Sounded like a white dude singing Earth, Wind, and Fire. Right. Now, I can sing it like a white dude. Do you remember the very first time, September? I forgot some of the lyrics, right? But that's why, again, right? I was in choir and band and in school. I remember all that. I ain't forgot it yet. Either. Now, if you do country, you gotta do a country sounding voice, you know, mean brother. Right. But that's from scratch. I don't know. All right. But it's still based on the song by Enigma, right? I think that's a group, right? When I did the monk voice, right? But every monk in Latin sounds like this. Right. In the chorus of our life. That was a monkey. That was a monkey. That was freestyle. But that's cause If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Snap your fingers instead. If you're happy and you know it, snap your fingers. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, snap your fingers. Change the lyrics a little bit, but still. I know, fair use, fair use. That's what it does. If you can't clap your hands and you got your phone in your hand, you can snap your fingers, right? And that changes the lyrics, right? But you can use the same melody, right? Well, if you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. Right? And whatever else, right? Turn around, right? Can't do that now, but... but that song is not a pop song, is it? No. So you can't sing it like, Britney Spears, right? Singing, let's see. For example, or let's say Christina Aguilera, right? It's not sung that way, right? But here's the thing, whether you're singing Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera, it's going to be based on how they sing on the radio. Right. Right. If you're listening to the song, right, and you're doing an impersonation of Britney or Christina, right, you're hearing them on the radio, right? Now, you don't know what either girl looks like unless you see her on the video. If she's on the radio, right? Same with Stevie Wonder, right? Or anyone, right? You don't know until you watch SNL or something, right? Now, like I said, I've seen Eddie Murphy paint his face to use makeup, and look like a white man, right? And being a kid, that didn't bother me. I was like, okay, that's cool. I know. It didn't bother me as a white man, right? But what I saw was that the black man with makeup looks like a white man. And at the same time, if I was to put black on my face, right, I look like a black man, right? I know. Another way to look at blackface is the white man's admitting he's a black man, but lighter skinned colors, right? And see, like I told you, Africa ain't the only country that has the same problem of humidity, right? Australia does too. And what do the Aborigines look like? Black men? Black men. Is there 2 continents with black people on it? Yeah. Yeah. Why? They're the same condition, right? Africa and Australia, for some reason, have similar humidities, right, than all the other nations on the planet, right? So black is just adaptation to your environment. 2-to-1, scientists, right? It's called adaptation when your body gets darker because of skin pigmentation and having to adapt to a hotter climate, right? It's not evolution. Either. How do you know? Well, if you do a scientific theory, right? The theory I'm proposing is that both continents are hot and dry and arid, and both continents have dark-skinned people that could pass as the brothers of each other, right? If you will. And the reason for this is my explanation of the theory, right? They're both from the same type of climate, right? That's adaptation if 2 continents have the same conditions, right? And both continents have dark-skinned people, right? And they're darker than the lighter skinned people who come from colder or neutral climates, right? I know, right? That's called adaptation, right? Not evolution, right? But you can neither prove nor disprove science either 100%, right? Now that's the thing about a theory, right? I know. And that's what you don't seem to want to understand yourself. A theory cannot prove anything, right? Unless you make it a fact, right? The theory can be placed, but it don't replace the fact that it's a theory, right? First. The theory of the Big Bang can't be proven 100% because no one saw the Big Bang, right? We're on the planet in the universe where we think the Big Bang occurred, yeah. But that makes us a creature on the planet, right? We're something on the planet. I know. We're inside the planet, like a little ant farm, right? Like it was made for us to live on, right? But you don't want to get that, huh? I know that. Okay, little creature, right? And then you want to say your maker looks like you, right? A man or a woman, you know? And even force people, right? If they don't agree with you. I know. When you ain't seen your maker at any time and it tells Moses you can't see me and live, right? Okay. Right. What does that mean? Right? Actually. Well, there's several ways, not just one, right? You might not can see it and live. One is if you think it's valid, it's both, right? Though it wouldn't necessarily kill you, right? To see it on a cross, say, right? But it would kill you, right? If you thought it was veil and it was both, right? Slowly over 2,000 years, right? Another thing is, right? It don't want to kill you, right? The bad guy does, right? But he's a fellow creature, right? See, if a creature wants to kill another creature, he has to find a way to kill himself first, right? And then get you to do something that he did that would kill both of you in the end, right? Do you understand? To murder someone, you first have to know how to murder something, right? To cause its death, right? Now, all you know is 1,000 years is as an age with the Lord, and the seventh day, right? There's a recap of what happened in Eden, right? And it's all a little different, right? And then it goes in chapter 3 about the sin, and it says, the man has become as one of us to know good and evil, right? That's an individual, right? Involved, right? And you're denying that. Why, right? Were you taught to overlook what that passage means, right? Yes. If I say, the man has become as one of us to know good and evil, who's speaking there? Now, even the men are saying, let us, and God again says, let us, right? Go down and confound their language, right? And let us is used more than you think, right? What does that word really mean, right? Well, we're going to do a word study on it too. Let us, right? And us is plural, not singular. Our is plural, right? Haynu, right, is how it's, usually said, right? But what makes it plural, and does the our include the female or just the male, and what does that mean, right? Does it mean it excludes the female when you only refer to the male? Or some people try to do that, right? With the idea of God being one, they try to make it male, right? Well, if it was male, where does the female come from, right? It can't be male, right? Only, right? It must be also androgynous within the male to make the female as well, right? Because she was taken out of him, right? By bone and flesh. DNA is part of your flesh, right? Yeah, right. If she's XY and you're XX, what does that mean? Right, right. She's half your DNA times 2, right? Right, right. No. See what I mean? Right. But I'm stupid. I don't make no sense, right? I'm mentally ill, right? Yeah, I know. I'm the crazy one, right? Okay, right. Paul also said it this way: neither is the man without the woman, nor the woman without the man in the Lord. By one Spirit you're all baptized in one body, whether Jew or Gentile, bond or free, right? Now, Galatians is where he includes what? Male and female. Male and female, right? You are all one. You are all one. In Christ Jesus, right? And John backs it up in Revelations by giving Jesus boobs, right? They can't handle the truth. All right. Cause see, you might think you have to be one, right? Not just simply know about it, but who's saying that? You, again, right? To understand the truth is better than to go about blindly saying God's a man when it's not a man, right? And it said so, right, right. There's only one way it could be male and not male. Female but not female. That's if it's what? Both. By his flesh. Mm-hmm. He's slain the enmity between the two. Ever heard of the battle of the sexes? Okay, right. That's where the male fights against the female. To see who's better physically sometimes, right? When neither can really beat the other in certain things, right? The female might be better at certain things than the male and vice versa, right? But there's always things she might can do that you can't do, and things you can do that she can't do, but that depends on the area you do it in, right? Do you understand? Right. There are also weaknesses and strengths in women and weaknesses and strengths in men, right? I know. That's what we're talking about here. Can Christ make us one by being both, right? In one body, right? And bring us back to one mind and accord with God by dying on the cross to cover all our sins, hers and yours, right? So that we become one mind and one accord again, right? Whereas Satan and his female divided us by having sex with Adam and Eve in the body of the angel that Satan once was, right? If an angel becomes human, would it be both like Adam? Right, probably. And same with the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, right? They're not trees. You don't call it the fig tree of life, right? Or the apple tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Or the, again, olive tree or, right? Cranberry tree. See, all fruits come from herbs or vines or branches. Ever heard that song? I am the vine and he is the branches. His banner over me is love, or something like that. Right. But his banner over me is love. Not hate, not judgment, not condemnation, because we all make mistakes, right? But to forgive is divine, right? To err is human, right? But Satan taught us to hate and condemn, right? Do you understand, right? I know. But a minor mistake, like I told you, is separating from a tour, right? Trying to meet your girlfriend the next town over because you were trying to get her to go on a similar tour. Maybe she might be out there somewhere, right? But she wasn't. Whoops. You made a mistake, maybe, right? But you still got back to the ship. Ain't that kind of strange that Lucky, go Lucky, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I spoke no Italiano. Right. But I'm on the island of Sicily, right? And I still got back to the ship. Close enough, close enough. Somehow. Alright. Now, they say God watches out for crazy people anyway. Yes, they do. Actually. Uh-oh. Have a good evening.